So, we are unable to hear.
This is Santosh, Chief Mentor of Fuel. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, thank you, Ankurji. It was a very good very good talk on how the CSR and initiatives of HP and how it is moving. We do work with a lot of CSRs across India and globally. So we are specifically this program, we are focusing on how CSR can impact beyond Bengaluru, which is an initiative of Karnataka government under Karnataka Digital Economy Mission and with partnership of Indo-American. So we wish to know what kind of initiatives your organizations is doing, not just in like metro cities or beyond Bengaluru, what we call like outside of the cities. Like.
So, as I said, out of 300 odd e-health centers which we have deployed in the country, uh, around 250 of them are either in rural areas or in semi-urban areas. That's number one. The second aspect of it is that the center of excellences which we are setting up, even if they are in state capitals, the catchment area for them is that particular state only. So you are having people from the nooks and corners of state traveling and being a part of that ecosystem. Uh, you need to understand that, as I said, this proliferation to the extreme grassroots level would take some time. We have to start small, which we have started now, and finally we are going to tier 2 and tier 3 cities. But the it has to be more like a hub and spoke model where hubs at this point in time can only be tier 2 cities at this point in time. Tier 3 at this time, I don't think can be, realistically speaking, considered as a viable option for being the hubs of such a model. Maybe 2 years down the line, when the ecosystem develops further, then you can have them emerge as something of an option.
Thank you so much, Ankurji, and thanks for your time. We all from Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, Fuel, Kdem, we thank, and TAI, we thank you for your time. Thanks again.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you much. I now request Ketan Deshpande, founder and CEO of Fuel, to address a keynote address. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a wonderful interaction. I hope I'm visible and my voice is reaching to you and my presentation is on the screen. Raj, my voice is reaching.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's reaching, and presentation also we are able to view it. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you very much, KDM, Iacc, and the entire organizing team for giving me this opportunity. Well, I'm showing a wonderful slide of 3 pictures, which you can see. On the left side are the school. In the middle are the engineers who are learning future skills. And the third picture talks about empowering women entrepreneurs to stand on their own. And that's what we do. We start from the school, work with the youth, and then empower women to become entrepreneurs or create ecosystem where they can stand on their livelihood. Fuel has been working in the space of Digital India, Make in India, Skill India movement, wherein we wish to empower young people with right opportunities. And I'm so thankful that city of Hubli has given the wings to Fuel to empower young people from the region, which we call it underserved, at the same time with huge potential of talent and human resources. Uh, as it is said, an honorable prime minister of our country has said, Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, and quality human resource potential to export to other countries. And we exactly are bridging that rural and urban divide by working in the smaller districts of not only Karnataka, but several other states, where we feel that empowering young people at right moment of time with right skills can really change the game. And we are in the working in government schools where most of the time very underserved community works or studies. We have even seen that if a family has a little disposable income, the boy goes to a nearby private school, but the girl doesn't go to the private school, even if the disposable income is there. She studies in the government school. So what we are doing is we are focusing on government schools, focusing on schools which are underserved, low income, and empowering them through futuristic skills. And this effort of decade has made us launch our Future Skill Institute. Industry is backing us right from the grassroots level to the upper bodies. And I really liked Ankurji's example of working with grassroots organizations who can really create difference. And that's what we have been doing. And in North Karnataka, especially, we've been working with Tier 2, Tier 3 engineering colleges, especially exposing them to 3D printing, core Java, and making them empowered through scholarships and so on. And this effort has been recognized across the globe as well as at different universities globally. The case study of what we have done has also made other countries to look at fuel model. And precisely, we are working with Indonesia, we're working in Uganda after implementing this kind of interventions in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, which I wish to highlight to both Indo-American Chamber and Kdem, that if you do something at grassroots, what happens is your note is taken at the global level. And that's what the vision of Fuel has been. We also wish to create Tier 2 and Tier 3 skill universities. And we request all your advocacy channels to take to respective governments of states to advocate for establishing skill universities. In India, universities means land of paradox, huge land bank is required, but that is not the case. We advocated in government of Maharashtra. We have got now in cities with 100 square feet, 100,000 square feet, a university can be established which can focus on skilling. That is exactly the need of the hour for different states. Industries are backing it from day one, and I can quote the example of establishing center of excellence, which my predecessor speaker spoke about. It's important to establish such center of excellence, such universities from rural pockets of India and make it available to young people so that they can take to the future of the nation. And what my model is one which is talking about future skill development for underserved youth. And model two is creating center of excellence for youth coming from rural pockets of India. And that's where CSR plays a huge role. These days, CSR is upgraded in a way more than Microsoft versions because there are continuous amendments coming in CSR. People are looking at new proposals, new innovations at the same time, managing with the government amendments. But I think what the organizations who have done work in decade, those are coming up with right models which can really impact the grassroots, which can follow all the regulations and amendments. And we at Fuel are doing this effort sincerely. What we've been doing is we've been identifying underserved youth. We've been training them through mobilization, through assessment and certification, giving them right kind of jobs, with right kind of technology frameworks, making them work with data analytics, AI, ML, cloud computing, core Java, which also gives them a little bit edge to get over their peers. And I have got some excellent case studies where a woman or a girl with his parents being farmers, agriculture, but now has a job in a large MNC. She took her parents by a flight. Was an exercise where she comes out of the poverty within that cycle. And I think more and more such examples, if they go to corporates and MNCs, what's going to happen is they will also dictate CSR in future. People who are from the poverty goes back to the cycle of poverty and then implement CSR will be a new game changer for the nation. And that's what we at Fuel have been doing. I would like to tell the August gathering there that if there is a will and there is a way, it can happen. And we did this with 83,000 youth last year. We are marching to do it more 100,000 youth this year. We've been giving to access to infrastructure. We've been creating mentoring support. We've been creating e-learning platforms and other certification courses. So industries can take these young people further. And we had employee volunteers getting engaged. They shared their stories. We had a volunteer from TCS who himself studied in a government school in Mumbai. When he went to the class of teaching these skills, the students were really motivated and inspired and said, that if my own ex-student can do it, why can't I do it? So that kind of examples and case studies has created a grassroots impact for our country and for our nation. We've been working with regional bodies as well as national bodies like AICT, the skill development authorities, as well as creating those recruitment drives, making them give the benefits to community and creating community leaders. So that has been our focus at the tier 2, tier 3 cities. Wonderful infrastructure is available with the colleges, but how to use it is something which we all are trying to help. The features of COE, where we are helping them with facility and technology, with lab research and development and wonderful classrooms. I would urge all of you to do visit us in Pune for our upcoming university, which we are trying to do, which will impact 5,000 youth a year with everything inside the box of residential facilities. We are working with sustainability of the project. We are creating a feedback mechanism and the beneficiary connect with industry to industry mechanism. And I'm very glad to share with you leading industries, leading companies, their CEOs have put in valuable time for communicating with these beneficiaries. One such case study we are doing with Capgemini, which is going to hire around 40,000 people this year. We are working with the L&D team. We are implementing their training program and then making their assessment reach to the students, and they are getting certified and placed in the company, and with an average salary which is 10 times higher than their annual income of their family. So just to break the poverty cycle, if you can collaborate with right company, if you can get the right content, what can happen on ground? Just an example of one case study which we are doing, and we are doing this in Hubli, in Dharwad, in Belgaum, in Davangere, all the smaller districts of North Karnataka belt, where we are creating this impact. Next. And the highlight points to end this summary is we've been rated by IRR with an NGO or a non-profit organization with good governance ability. We implemented more than 100 crores CSR budget of various leading banks and technology centers. And me and Santosh both have been doing this passionately. And I wish to share with all of you that if you do good work, what happens is this kind of creation of impact, visibility, and collaboration. Because together we can and we will make the required difference that is needed for our nation. As our Honorable Prime Minister has said, that if we want to create young people, just give them opportunities and it will take it further. And that's what we've been focusing on. And we are really happy to share with all of you that these efforts are being recognized at the highest level and at the same time are impacting the grassroots level. So thank you very much. Over to you, all of you.
Thank you so much, Ketan sir. So we move on to the panel discussion. It will be from Ms. Dhyanand Deshpande, Chief Relationship Officer, Deshpande Foundation. Ajay Shukla, Director, EK Soj Foundation. Mr. Raj, CM, Vice Chairman, IACC Karnataka. Mahesh.
I was there in person. I wish I was there in person. I was supposed to fly down there, so I'm missing all the fun that you're all having there. But I'm here. I had a education technology company called Anthology, which is globally, very involved in across over 90 countries. We're probably one of the largest education technology companies. I think this is a very relevant topic for us, and I'm very encouraged to be part of this panel. When we think about our industry, when we think about education technology, I think this is going to be the key growth driver. This is the seeds that we have to sow in all the rural areas for the right youth and the right population to come. So I'll pass it back to you, Sandeep, and then as and when my turn comes, I'll be happy to share my views.
Thank you. Raji is being very modest about introducing himself. Anthology is an edutech company, and he is the Indian leader of a multi-million-dollar business already. And I would wish that we get to hear a lot about the technological applications in this sector and how you are going ahead with the vision of yours. And welcome. He also leads a company on the business front part of it, banking front part of it. It's called Talisma. And I'll leave it to the participants here to find out more about Talisma later on, because he's very well known for Talisma work in Bangalore, actually. That's what we got to know. Thank you. Thank you, Raj. Welcome. And may I request Dhyanda to please introduce herself?
Thank you, and good evening, everyone. I'm Jnanada Deshpande. I recently joined Deshpande Foundation. I'm very honored to be now honorary member of this Hubli community. And the Deshpande Foundation, of course, is known to all of you, I hope. We started in 2007. This is the 15th year of our operations. Initially started as a grant making organization where we extended grants to various NGOs working in the field with the motivation to change and make an impact in rural India. Rather, as Desh would put it, impact, he always said that it was the innovation and the relevance. When these two things come together, we have an impact. So I'm very honored to work here. But in last 5 years, Deshpande Foundation has now moved to more developing in-house theory of change and the strategizing, productizing, creating initiatives that can be scaled up globally, not only in rural India, but in the global South. And those experiments are going on. And these experiments have some of very fantastic results I would like to share in the conversation. And one little background on myself, I'm a sociologist by training and worked in communications and social research field for last 25 years. And now here serving this cause that is set in motion. So glad to meet you all.
Would like to again add the same comment here. Dhyanda, before joining Deshpande Foundation, was the head of communications and strategic partnership with WRI, World Resource International. World Resource International, as you know, is one of the leading authorities globally for city planning, designing, and things like those. So kind of spaces that we are going to be talking about in the emerging cities, because our topic of the day today is emerging cities. They are the harbingers of CSR activities. I think much of value with her rich 25 years plus kind of an experience would be added in the conversation today. Welcome, Dhyanda. And welcome, Maheshji. And thanks for joining us in person. I know it's a long journey from Belgaum here, not exactly in terms of 100 kilometers that you mapped, but also in terms of your. So Mahesh leads Pragati Engineering in Belgaum, and a very important emerging sector, CNC machines and their accessories is what he is specialist at, and he will be talking much about how manufacturing sector is going to be contributing a lot. So we have an edutech person here who is an entrepreneur. We have a person from manufacturing sector, and would wish you to introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. Good evening to one and all, and thank you so much for having me here. It's really an honor to be in presence of Ms. Dhyanda, Mr. Raj, for what all they have accomplished so far. I'm an engineer by profession, and I lead Pragati Engineering Belgaum Private Limited. We are more into accessories for machine tool manufacturing in an old age economy, you could say, or the old economy as it's slightly being said. We are part of Pragati Automation in Bangalore, again, who do the similar kind of work. So that's pretty much what we do so far. Thank you so much for having me here.
I'll take liberty in adding that maybe you gave a perspective about old age economy. Why was it that we were always last whole decade trying to avoid China manufactured goods and trying to bring all the China manufacturing back to India? That's a thought that.
Well, I would like to add here, well, definitely China was manufacturing, but I have to proudly say that we have been manufacturing in China and we have been exporting to China as well. Great. So that's something which we have been doing for the past almost 5 to 7 years.
Great. So, teasing brings out that fact of life. Yeah. Bikes, if you see, China could never dominate India. We'll have a lot of off-session discussions probably on this.
Definitely.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
We are very honored to be having you here.
Thank you so much.
And last but not the least, our youngest panelist today, Ajay Shukla, another ex-colleague of ours from Deshpande Foundation, who is now the director of Iacc Soch. When he was introduced, EK Soch was said. Iacc Soch is something very unique, and I'll I request Ajay to please switch on his video and introduce himself, please. Okay. I think Ajay's connectivity is problem here. So, yeah, he's here. Yeah, Ajay.
Yep.
Yeah, we are able to hear you, but not able to see you.
In
Yeah,
fact,
now we are able to see you.
I'm on my video.
Yeah, please.
Is it okay?
Yeah, very much.
Well, hello everyone, and namaskar to everyone who is present in the meeting today. In fact, the conference, I can say, is the combination of online and offline. And I'm glad that I could feel that I'm in Hubli, not physically, but virtually. Sandeep ji, Ketan ji, Sandosh ji, everybody was like, I was listening to everybody. And we are talking about technology. And at the time when I had to introduce myself, my own technology, I mean my system, has given me a pinch that Mr. Ajay, you need to first check your laptop. And this is what is actually obvious. I'm right now speaking from Mathura, Vrindavan. And I was just 20 kilometers away in a field. Because of this meeting, I took a bike ride, 43 degrees Celsius hot. Why I'm sharing this story here? Because we are talking about developing the cities, developing technology infrastructure, the tech clusters. And my actually sharing maybe further on along with this introduction will be more on how we can also keep in mind the interior places where even the normal technology is a challenge. So Hubli is my first home for my professional journey. 2008 when I was in Hubli, 2019 when I was last at Hubli in my professional journey. 10 years Hubli has hosted me. I have seen Hubli. I can't say that I'm so old, but I've seen 10 years Hubli, the way it has grown. And the people of Hubli, absolutely, I think this kind of conference that we are talking, Hubli is absolutely the right place with the people's mindset. So I was with Deshpande Foundation for 10 years and worked in Hubli in almost all the states of South. Especially my work and participation was with college youth, building their mindset. Then I moved to Varanasi. I was working in partnership with not-for-profit sector and using